So this isn't a hard-hitting news story, but I came across a short video. It's literally like a minute um, that of the late Christopher Hitchens discussing the practice of circumcision, or what he calls, in my opinion, correctly, genital mutilation. So I thought I'd play that for you, and then we could talk about it.
I've got to call you down on referring to circumcision as genital mutilation. My son cried more at his first haircut than he did at his bris. Statistically, the only long-term effect that it seems to have on people is it increases their chances of winning a Nobel Prize.
I can't find the compulsory mutilation of the genitals of children a subject for humor in that way, or flippancy in that way. Maimonides says very plainly that it's designed to repress sexual pleasure, to deprive us, a male child as far as possible of the opportunity of that. Is fantastically painful, leads to trauma, who've died or had life-threatening infections as a result of this disgusting practice. That a person as humane as yourself can sit here and think of that as a fit subject for humor shows what I'm.
Okay, Fred, time to find.
So he got cut off there at the end, but I wanted to talk about this because, I mean, it's not a popular subject, and I don't think it's a popular opinion, but I think Hitchens was entirely right on this issue. As he mentioned, there's been deaths involving the practice. There's been trauma associated with the practice. It arose, well, in the Jewish faith originally, at least in part, according to Hitchens' citing of Maimonides, to decrease sexual pleasure in males. And it's one of those things that, started for a very, esoteric reason in a particular community, and then sort of just spread to wider communities and just to the wider world in general. One of those traditions that people just do it to do it. People just do it because that's what you've always done. But then if you stop to ask, well, why do we do this? Then you're not able to get a satisfactory answer. And people will. They will try to provide defenses of this practice, either through humor, like the gentleman Hitchens was talking to, or they'll say, people are less likely to get STDs when they're circumcised, men, or it's easier to clean down there. Sorry to be crude, if you're circumcised. Now, as for the cleaning bit, I mean, a lot of men are gross, just in general. A lot of men just don't know how to clean themselves, period. So I feel like what we need to do is teach men or teach little boys proper cleanliness techniques so they can grow up and properly clean themselves and not rely on, this hacking off flesh of their genitals as an infant to make it more likely that they'll be able to clean themselves. If you can't clean yourself circumcised, then you probably couldn't clean yourself very well. If you can't clean yourself uncircumcised, then you're probably not good at cleaning in general. You probably couldn't clean yourself whether you were even if you were circumcised. Is what I'm trying to say. As for the STD thing, I mean, that may or may not be true. I actually haven't looked into the data on that. But I think it's a very minor reason to continue this practice. I mean, if an adult wants to be circumcised, right, that's fine, right? I think they should be allowed to do that. But forcing it on infants who don't have any choice in the matter, that seems questionable to me. And if you're worried about STDs, I mean, there's plenty of that. There's condoms. There's ways of being safe to minimize STD exposure, or you could just refrain from sex altogether. That's a good way to avoid 100% of STDs. Do not have sex. So there's so much, I think, silliness that's thrown around on this front. And for some reason, everyone just goes along with it without thinking about it. But I just want it to be known to the viewers in this channel that I am firmly in support of what is called the genital integrity movement. This is a religious practice that need not be practiced, need not have spread as far as it has, and people want to do it, fine, but I don't think we should force it on infants. Leave the body alone and let them do with it as they see fit when they're adults.